So today I'm going to be doing a teen mom Q&A with a newborn. Let's jump right into this video since I know this video is going to be a long one. The first question is, what happened to Violet's father? Me and Violet's father dated for about 8 months. Basically, Violet's dad would break up with me and then we would get back together, break up with me, get back together. And then I guess the last time that we broke up was the official end for him. He just was like, okay, I'm done. Like he would always pick and choose when he would want to talk to me, pick and choose when he would want to be with me, which really isn't fair, but it is what it is at this point. Like, I really don't sit back and dwell on it as much as I used to because now I have bigger priorities, taking care of Violet, trying to finish school. But basically, Violet's father just doesn't really care, I guess. I don't know. I really can't say if he cares or not because from the actions he has portrayed, it shows that he just doesn't care, but oh well. If you were to get a job, where would you want to work? Definitely for our first job, I really want to work in food. I really would want to be a waitress or a hostess. What's the hardest thing about being a teen mom for me? I think the hardest thing is basically it's a couple things, not just going to be one, but trying to manage school. I guess you could say relationships. How is your dating life now that you have a kid? Well, things aren't that different. Like, when guys try to talk to me, they don't understand that I have a child. Like, yes, they know that I have a child, but they don't fully grasp it. Like, they don't understand it, especially kids my age who try to talk to me and actually who want to have a relationship don't really understand that I have a child and that understand the severity of having a child. Like, it's not like I can just go out and I can't just go on a date, and I would never put a man especially before her. What's it like being a teen mom but doing online schooling, and are you coming back to school next year or are you going to continue online school? I will be going back to school next year, but that's only if everything works out, and if everything does work out, I'll be able to explain that in a later vlog and a later video. How does she sleep? Violet actually sleeps really well. Whenever she eats past 12, like 12 a.m., she'll usually sleep throughout the night, and she'll either wake up at 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's like those 4 times. It's not really set right now, but she sleeps very well through the night. How old are you, and are you single? I am 15 years old. I am single, and I will be turning 16 March 28th. Mark it on your calendars. How did you give birth, and what was your experience with the way of delivery? My experience, I was very nervous. But I stayed very calm. I was nervous, but I was internally nervous. I didn't really show that I was nervous. You could tell I was very quiet, but I was nervous. I kept my cool. I kept it all together. The one saying that me and my parents kept saying in the hospital, cool as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber. And that really helped me stay calm. I don't know why, but it really did. I would always say it if I felt myself about to get worked up or about to have a panic attack. I'd be like, cool as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber. Why didn't you breastfeed? I did not breastfeed because, so after I gave birth, they put her right on my chest because I wanted skin to skin. And she laid on my chest for about 2 hours, and then we tried to breastfeed. And personally, I did not like the feeling of it. I really did not like it. And I said, okay, since I don't like nursing, then I will pump. But I waited 2 weeks to pump, so my milk supply was all over the place. It wasn't consistent. So, and when I did try pumping, I tried getting myself on a schedule, and I did it for a good 5, 7 days, for about a week. And I still wasn't even producing enough for her to eat. So, it is what it is. It's okay that it didn't work out. At least I tried. Were you nervous on what your parents were going to say when you told them you were pregnant? Well, if you guys have watched my how I told my parents plus how I found out I was pregnant, I found out the night of prom, April 21st, 2017, and I didn't get a chance to tell my parents. The guy I was with at the time, Violet's father, he sent a picture of the test to one of my friends, and apparently one of the friends' moms had her phone, and her mom told my parents. So then I never got a real chance to tell my parents. Is it difficult? Don't respond with a yes or no. I want to know all the struggles and all the love involved. It is difficult, but at times it's not difficult all around. Times where it is difficult is when, say, I would like to get a shower, or I just want to eat, or I just want to go to the bathroom. It's times where I want to get a shower, I want to eat, or I just want to go to the bathroom, and sometimes I can't because sometimes no one's around to help. When my parents are at work and no one's around to help, it's I wish, the other person is here and should be involved. And that's when it's difficult because you get very hard on yourself. Well, I'm not going to say you because I got hard on myself. I got very hard on myself about feeling very alone, and sometimes I still do feel alone sometimes. Then I have to realize, like, I have Violet. I have my family. I have my friends who have stuck by my side since day one. I just got to know that I still have people around who love me and who care about me. But yes, at times it can be difficult. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did it hurt? I'm going to say about a 6 or a 7. I did get an epidural. That helped. It works wonders. I recommend that if you do not. I had a high pain tolerance when I went into labor because I knew I had to suck everything up. I was like, okay, gonna get through this. But usually, I really don't have a high pain tolerance. So if you do not have a high pain tolerance, especially labor, if you're going to deliver vaginally, I 110% recommend get that epidural. It works wonders. Don't get me wrong, I still felt the contractions, but I did not feel her like fully like come out, if that makes sense. You feel the contractions, and the contractions do hurt. But if I did not have that epidural, it would have hurt 10 times worse. Recovery process, like the 2 weeks after, I think that was the worst pain. That hurt worse because everything, my whole body was sore. Oh, that was the worst. Out of everything, the recovery process was the worst. Did you lose any friends? Yeah. Where is the dad now? Honestly, I really couldn't tell you. By social media, I don't know if he works. Honestly, I couldn't tell you where he is, what he is doing. But what I can say is whatever he is doing is more important than Violet. What are you gonna do when you go back to school? I plan to continue my classes. Is it hard being a teen mom? Like I said, it is hard at times, but overall, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't have done anything differently because I love her. She makes my days so much better. Even days when I don't even want to get up out of bed, I look forward to getting up every morning because of her. Even some days when I don't want to, she makes it worth it. She makes life worth it. How are you financially supporting your child? At the moment, my parents do help me, like obviously financially support, because obviously I don't get help from Violet's father in any way, shape, or form. So obviously my parents aren't just going to let me slip and fall. Obviously, if I was able to get a job, I would. I do plan to get a job when I'm a little older, but right now, obviously Violet needs me. Has Violet ever met her dad yet? Violet's dad has not contacted me about meeting her, has not asked to meet her. Is it challenging being a single mom? As of right now, it is. It's challenging because it kind of sucks because sometimes you feel alone. And why the other person isn't here, sometimes you'll blame yourself, even when it's the other person who left and no explanation, no reasoning. Were you scared when going out when you were pregnant? Yes, I was. I wouldn't say scared, but I always got really bad anxiety going out in public because every time I would go out in public, people would stare. Because obviously when I only had a little baby bump, you couldn't tell if I wore like a t-shirt or if I wore a sweatshirt. You couldn't tell. I just looked like a normal kid. But then when my belly started getting really, really big, and then you could actually tell even if I had a t-shirt or a sweatshirt on. That's when people started to stare, give me looks, and it made me very uncomfortable, but they don't know what I'm going through, they don't know who I am, you know what I mean, they don't know. So I try not to get too nervous about it, but I did get really bad anxiety going out in public. Why did you keep Violet? Personally, I could never go through with an abortion, let alone adoption, especially knowing that she has been growing inside of me for 9 months, and feeling her kick and move, and knowing that she's alive. I personally would never be able to do that, but that's just me, and it's my personal belief. Are you going to get Violet's ears pierced? I personally am going to wait till she's old enough to make that decision herself. I just don't want to put holes in her body without her, unless she wants it, because I'm not just going to give it to her unless, if she says, Mom, when she's old enough and says, Mom, I want to get my ears pierced, I'll be like, okay, we can get your ears pierced then. But I'm not just going to do it while she's, a baby. How are you already so thin after giving birth a month ago? I really didn't do anything. I eat, I drink water. What has been the most difficult part of being a new mom? The most difficult part is sleep at the moment for me. Right now it's sleep because sometimes if she is up in the middle of the night or I can't get her to sleep yet, I do get really tired because usually once I'm awake and it's hard for me to fall back asleep. So, if she wakes me up, then I'm up. So then it's hard for me to fall back asleep. Do you like being a mom? I don't even think like is the word to describe it. I am absolutely in love with being a mom and being able to take care and nurture and love my tiny little human right here. I've never been good at many things in life, but I know one thing that I think I was made for, and the one thing that I know that I am absolutely amazing at, it's being a mom. Do you get a lot of hate? And if so, how do you handle it? I have gotten hate since the day that I announced my pregnancy, the day that a rumor got out around in school. I've been getting hate since day one. But the way I handle it is that if someone wants to judge you on your situation, or wants to judge you for being who you are, and judge you for being yourself, then that just shows their character, and that shows the type of person they are. If they're just going to judge without knowing and judging without getting the chance to know, that shows their genuine character and shows who they really are as a person. Sometimes it is hard to ignore, and sometimes it does get to me, but then at the end of the day, I realize that they don't know what I go through. They don't know the struggles I've been through. They don't know. You know what I mean? And anyone can hate on you all day, every day, but you just have to realize that it just shows what kind of person they are. The way I handle it is honestly ignoring it, because if you feed into it, and if you feed in to people saying stuff, and because I realize if you feed into people saying stuff about me, because some people say stuff even about Violet, and I will never understand how people can hate on a baby. The way I handle it is just ignore it, and you just need to be, it's easier said than done. Is it hard being a mom and a teenager at the same time? Yes and no. What was your first thought when you found out you were pregnant? My first thought was my life was over, I'm never gonna be anything in life. But, you know, it took me a while to remove that mindset and get myself to a better place. What will you tell Violet about her biological father when she is older? My answer to that question is, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. How do you deal with the judgment of being a teen mom? Does it affect you? Some judgment and comments do get to me, but then like I said previously, you gotta think that they don't know what you're going through, they don't know the struggles, and no one is gonna know what you're going through besides you, or unless you go through it yourself. And that's how I think about it. No one's gonna know what I go through until they're in my shoes, until they are me. How has Violet changed your life, and what are your plans for the future? Violet has changed my life in the most amazing ways. It's really indescribable, like how much she has changed my life and my friends and my family's life in the best way possible. And she has not changed anyone's life in a negative way at all. She has only been a blessing to everybody. My plans for the future are to graduate high school, go to college. At the moment, I do want to go to school to be either a pediatric nurse, or I want to do something with delivering babies, because the labor and delivery process was awesome, and I think that I would love to help, women or even teens help deliver, babies. Do you still love Violet's father? Honestly, feelings are mutual. I don't have love, I don't have hate, I don't have anger, I don't have anything for him. I wish him the best in life. What other names were you thinking about? What made you decide on Violet Rose? If you could do it all again, would you? And if you had another girl, what would you name her? Really love the name Delilah. I would not change anything differently about the way my life is now. I also really like the name Lily. Will the dad be involved at any point in your lives, even in the far future? Honestly, I don't know. He hasn't reached out. He doesn't talk to me. So honestly, I don't know if he ever would be involved in my life, let alone Violet's. So I have no clue, honestly. What is the hardest challenge you've faced so far? The hardest challenge was having to accept that it wasn't my fault, that he doesn't want to be involved, that it's not my fault. If he wanted to be involved, that he would, and it's not my fault that he doesn't want to. It's not my fault, and I realized I had to stop blaming myself all the time, because it's not my fault. Did you ever think of an abortion? It did cross my mind, I'm not going to lie. I did think of it, and I did consider it, but I thank God every day that I did not. When you're in the situation, because I know I might get hate for even considering it, but friends and my family that know me knew that I would not go through with it, even though I did bring it up. They knew I would never even consider that, because I personally am against that, for myself at least. So yeah, I did consider it, and it did cross my mind. Do you plan on going to college? Yes. How has your life changed since having a baby? My life has changed dramatically, but in the best way. And I would not trade Violet for anything in the world. I love her with all my heart. I wouldn't do anything differently. Honestly, I wouldn't. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Say bye!